Well, we have a little survey of jazz piano in this country, don't we? Just from hearing all of these styles. And also, I have to say, it takes a lot of courage to be an accompanist to a great artist, and whom you know is someone that inspires you, and someone that is also you're working for, you're working with. There's so many different kinds of ways of working for a collaborative posture for a jazz artist. And now we're going to hear, as the conclusion of this session, Mr. Wyans play Yesterdays, right? Yesterdays. So we can open the floor up to questions. And would you please, well, first we have to say how wonderful it is to hear both of you and how extraordinary it was.
I just, before, I'd hate to interrupt Judith, but I just wanted to mention I didn't finish the Sarah Vaughan story. When asked if she really knew Ella Fitzgerald, she couldn't do anything but crack up. She didn't get angry. She said, "Yes, child, I really do know Ella."
Corollary to that, there's a concert that just got released. For all I know, Mr. Wofford is on it. I don't remember the pianist. It's Sarah Vaughan live at Rosie's in New Orleans, 1975. Does anybody remember who the piano player is? It might be Mike. Anyhow, Sarah she's having a great time, and the crowd is really loving her. And she says unexpectedly, "Does anybody have any requests?" And the mic is on her, so we can't hear what the crowd is saying, but we hear her sounding surprised. And she says, "Well, I'll be damned. A tisket, a tasket?" And she sings it.
That's great. That's great.
Hi, thanks for the music. While either of you were with Ella, did you ever hear from Norman Granz possibly relaying instructions or advice from Ella Fitzgerald about your performance?
This is what we heard. When you were with Ella Fitzgerald, did you ever hear Norman Granz what? Oh, interact with Ella during around the performances or the choices? Oh, did you hear that?
Off the stand?
Yeah.
As far as just away from the bandstand, yeah, not a whole lot. You know, Ella, as I think Tad Hirschhorn alluded to earlier too in his segment, I don't know how it was, and again, Richard was with her when she was much earlier in her career, and he might have some insights on this, but by the time I joined her, there wasn't any hanging out or anything, you know, like hanging with the guys afterwards. We rarely saw her except on the bandstand or in the green room, maybe before a concert. We didn't really rehearse because the bass player Keeter and Bobby Durham were both on the East Coast, and I was in California. So, except on rare occasions, we didn't even hang out as a group at her home. She had a beautiful, beautiful home in Beverly Hills by that time. But I wish I had some really wonderful, wonderful stories about interaction with Ella, but I think she was basically rather shy, and especially in later years, and she wasn't a hanger-outer, you know, and again, Tad talked about that some too. Some of the other singers left to go out with the guys afterwards, but not Ella too much. Maybe early on, I don't know. Richard, do you remember?
Sometimes when I was with her, we'd hang out someplace, or either at the club where we were appearing. In Vegas, which was their opening show stop for us, it wasn't so good. It was my first time being in Vegas, and it was a little strange. In fact, we didn't hang out at all. There were a few places in Vegas where we were accepted, and everybody in town would be there at the end of the night. Fortunately, there was a place like that, but that was my first time in Vegas in 1956, and it wasn't so nice for us. We couldn't even stay at the hotel where we were appearing. It was not so good. But we were there for 3 weeks, and we managed somehow to get through it. But otherwise, a lot of the fans who came to hear Ella were very nice, very nice. But it was just the management in these places wasn't so nice. This is 1956. I realize that's a long time ago, but I'll never forget it. That's all I can say. The group, the trio, and Ella, we were all staying in the same motel on the other side of town in Vegas. So we managed. From there on, it was good. All the other spots we appeared were very nice, just very. Okay, that's all I have to say about that.
What did you say? Yeah. Well, thank you all, and we need another round of grateful applause.
Thanks very much.